Hello everyone, welcome to Healthy Relationship Review with your girl Okafo Angela. Yes, I'm super excited to be with you today. Today we're discussing on top 10 healthy relationship checks. Yes, you want to know how healthy your relationship is. This is an opportunity to know if yes, my relationship is 100% healthy, is 50% healthy. This is an opportunity to do that. So I think it's time you go get your pen, get a notebook, and let's do this together. Okay. Number one on my list is you need to know about your partner's success history. Yes, do you know your partner's success history, like how they've made success from time to time, like over the years, their success history. Do you know it? It's very important you know that because it helps you to know how far this person has gone. You're not just marrying a stranger. This is somebody you want to get married to you. So you need to know their success history. So do you really know your partner's success history? Well, if you do, then mark it as a good one. Yes, I think it is healthy on that area. Then next on my list is you need to know your partner's failure history. Everyone has failures. We are much more comfortable discussing about our success than we are discussing about our failures. That's very true. So you need to know your partner's failure experiences. Yes, we are all humans, and it is very okay for us to fail at one point or the other. But what is not okay is for us to remain a failure. So do you know your partner's failure history? Do you know how they've gone through tough times and how they've been able to make it through? You need to know these things. You need to know their failure history. It's very important. You share yours with them. It's very important. It's not something to avoid or something to neglect. You need to say it. See, when you're free with somebody, one way to know if really you're free with somebody is when you can share your bad side with them. When you can easily tell them, I did this and this thing, you know it is bad, and you can share it with them. Guy, say you did free with that person. I don't know if you get my point. So you need to know their failure history as well as you know their success history. It is very, very important. Okay, now the next on my list is you need to know your partner's sex history. Yes, you need to know it's very important. Are they virgins? Have they had sex before? It's something very important, something you need to know. Very, very important. You also need to know if they had children from their past relationship. I said these are very important issues you need to discuss about. You need to know if they had children from their past relationship. You need to know what sex pattern do they prefer. You need to know these things. Not when you get married and you are amazed at what your partner would have loved sexually. You need to discuss these things. Know how it has been for them sexually. It is very important. Now, I'm not saying you should go into body count. And number next on my list is you need to know your partner's financial history. Yes, it's very important you know your partner's financial history. That reminds me, if you've not seen my video on do not marry him or how it at a financial plan, see that video. It's very important. Now you need to know your partner's financial history. You need to know you need to know if they are in debts. You need to know their investment rates. You need to know their savings rate. You need to know their spending rates. These are important things you know. You need to know how they plan their finances. Not tomorrow you're complaining that he doesn't save money, he doesn't plan this, money enters his hand, he does it like this. These are things you need to check before entering into marriage. These are things you need to consider to know how healthy your relationship is before you go into marriage. So check it out. You know these things about this person. These are very important things you check to know how healthy your relationship is. Okay, next on my list is you need to know your partner's family history. It's very important. How does he or she relate to his or her dad or his or her mom? How do they relate with their parents? How do they relate with their siblings? It's very important. Not everybody relates with all their siblings at the same levels. There are some you relate to them at a very high level, some lesser level. So you need to discuss these things with your partner. Are there things they need to know about this particular sibling? Like this particular sibling, this is how he or she operates. Discuss these things with them. It is very important. And something else you need to check out for is every home has their own pattern of upbringing. You need to discuss these things because the way you were brought up by your parents, is it the same way you would love to bring up your children with your spouse? So these are things you discuss about. If not, are there some adjustments you need to make? Are there some things you need to remove? These are very important things because the way you are brought up, it has a high influence on the way you bring up your own children, and we're all brought up from different backgrounds. So these are things you need to check to know how healthy that relationship that is heading towards marriage, to know how healthy it is. Okay. That is number 5 on my list, right? Now, the next on my list is you need to know if you both are intellectually compatible. It's very important. I can't imagine myself now. I'm trying to communicate with you, and I end up explaining every word in every sentence I make. It's not like I'm speaking big grammar, I'm speaking a plain English language. And I have to explain every word in every sentence I make. I bet you that communication will be so frustrating and draining. I don't know if you get my point. So that's why you need to go for someone that you both are intellectually compatible. I'm not saying you must marry somebody at the same level with you intellectually, but you need to somebody that you can communicate with, somebody you can have a nice, a decent, a fun discussion with. Very, very important. So check out for these things. Check out for these things. I've had someone in a relationship with someone that said she said she needed to subscribe to the internet to do one or two things, and the person just immediately started condemning it, that you want to go to the internet now to start exposing your body, to start doing this, to start doing that. It's not like we've ever seen this person exposing his or her body. It's not like just because they are not in oh god, just because you don't know anything about what the internet is all about. Now you're just saying nonsense. See, with such a person now, communication with such a person will be so drilling, I bet you it will be. So you need to check out for these things. You need to check out for it. Okay, next on my list is you need to check out for emotional compatibility. Are you guys emotionally compatible? Fun time. Hey, this one is not in the mood. This one is kind of depressed, kind of sad. Can you help each other get out of each mood per time? Can you help each other get into a better mood? Let me use that word instead. Get into a better mood sometimes. Are you both emotionally compatible? There are some persons when you're emotionally down, they're like, I don't understand this, your emotional this thing. It is too much. You are so sensitive to everything, very sensitive. Is it that they complain about everything? So you need somebody that you guys are emotionally compatible. Somebody that when you are laughing is like, what is funny now? No, why are you laughing? You're having fun and like, what is the fun in this thing? People are not emotionally compatible. Oh God. Okay, I remember there was one time I was in a relationship. Now I like using myself for example. I was in a relationship with somebody, and we're over the phone, we're talking, and we're discussing about a job, and I asked him. I said, "Do you have any job for me?" What he heard, he didn't hear me clearly. What he heard is, "Do I have any joke for him?" I don't know how those two relate though. And the next thing he said was, "Do I look like a clown to you? Do I look like a clown to you?" I was off it. I was like, I don't understand. What are you talking about? Why are you sounding like? So you ask me if you look like a clown to me. Just ask you a simple question if you have a job for me. Okay, let's even say I asked him if he has a joke for me, and he's asked. We're not fighting. We're just discussing about jokes, and it's like, see, such a person. People are not emotionally compatible at all because he's a very serious minded person. Like, no time for jokes, no time. I don't know if you get, so check it if you guys are emotionally compatible to know how healthy your relationship is. Okay, that's that for that. Well, the next on my list right now is social compatibility. I think that will be number 9. Yes, I think so. That will be number 9. Now, social compatibility. How do you guys have fun together? What is its own definition of having fun? Is it riding on the bike? Is it climbing mountains? Yes, there are people who's fun life. That's how they catch fun. So you need to know these things. What is his own social life like? What does he see as, oh, I went to have fun, like I want to know these things. Because if you don't know, you might be so surprised that it is something you dread doing. Yes, you might be surprised at what your partner sees as fun is something you dread doing. Because you dread doing it doesn't give you the right to condemn it. I don't know if you get my point. It doesn't give you the right to condemn it and castigate the person. Why that person want to have his or her fun doing that thing? Maybe riding on this speed bike. Somebody like me, I'm not going with you. If you're going to drive on a very high speed, I'm not going to do that with you. If you promise to like limit it to some extent because you're carrying somebody else that is kind of having fright, fine, I will do that with you. Now, because that is his own fun, that's the way he has fun, that's how he sees his social life like. No problem where you're going, I can go with you. But that doesn't mean I should condemn it. Then what he has to do is to know what is my own social life like. Like what do I consider as fun? Then even if it doesn't appeal well to him, he just has to do it for me. See, life or marriage is all about sacrifice. It doesn't have to appeal to you, but you just have to sacrifice it for your partner just to meet their own end game. You get my point. So know what is his or our own social life. Is he attending club? Is he going for clubbing? Hmm. Christians, take note. Is it going for club? Is it attending birthday parties? Is it going for wedding functions? Is it going for just name it? Just name it. Going for business seminars can be fun for somebody. So just know what he or she has as his or her own fun life. What they have as their own social life. So you can adapt, so you can play along. So it doesn't come shocking to you. Say what? So you mean on Saturday I should now go and start climbing mountain with you? No. So discuss about these things now. If it is something you negotiate on, something you look for a way around it, please do. Please do. For the sake of the health of the relationship. Yeah, thank you. Now, it's on my list is spiritual compatibility. How compatible are you both spiritually? It's very important. You need to know how compatible you both are spiritually. You people share the same spiritual values. You people pray together. Do you people believe in the same pattern of prayer? Can you both hold hands in agreement to pray? See, one thing about prayer is when you're praying, you need to pray in agreement. So when you're praying with somebody that his or her pattern of prayer doesn't go with your own pattern of prayer, it's called that there is no agreement in that. That's just the truth about it. So you need somebody that you guys have the same spiritual faith, the same spiritual understanding. It's very important. I can't overemphasize these things. It's very important. Okay, let's even say this person is a Christian and you are both in the Pentecostal church. This other person might be a morning person and this other person might be a night person. And the morning person might wake up by 5 a.m. to do his or her morning devotion. And the night person must have maybe worked all through the night. And let's say by 3 or 2 a.m. he or she started her prayer and is ending by 5 thereabouts. And as at that time is when he or she wants to sleep. It's called that these are two different things now. Now the person for the 5 a.m. will wake up and start waking the other guy, wake up, let us pray. And it's like, I want to sleep. This is the time I want to sleep. Now the other person might see it as you're not being serious spiritually. You're not you're not taking the things of Christ serious. Prayer, you don't want to pray. But they don't understand that you have done yours over the night. Like this is the time you need to sleep. These are things you need to discuss. These are things you need to know. Is this person a loud prayer? If he or she is praying, is he loud? Is he quiet? Is that his pattern of prayer? These are things you need to know. These are things you need to discuss about. What people need to be spiritually compatible. I'm not even talking about believer marrying an unbeliever. That is totally out of the game. That is not what I'm talking about. Because the scripture says that you should not be equally yoked with an unbeliever. I'm talking about two Christians, two born again. You still need to know your spiritual stand. And are there adjustments? Are there things you need to add to it? Are there things you need to subtract from it? Talk about your own, talk about his own, so that these things are balanced, so that these things make sense, so that you guys can come together in agreement and pray. Okay, the next on my list, the last but not the least on my list is physical compatibility. This is very, very important. Are you guys physically compatible? Are you guys physically compatible? It's very important you check out for this thing. Do you like what you see? Do you like what you see physically? Do you like what you see? Is there any attire that you want your partner to put on special occasion or on regular occasions? Is there a makeup you prefer your partner to wear? Is there a particular hairstyle you want your partner to put on? Just discuss these things. You can't say you don't know. You can't say you don't know. Because tomorrow he or she may want you to do a to put on a particular attire, and to you that attire doesn't work out for you. But if you have discussed these things in relationship and you find your way around it, you see how you can go about it. You see how you can go about it. You are prepared on what you are going into. But we all assume everything in our head that this is how it might be, and it ends up not working like that. It ends up not working like that. And so for some person says, some person just like looking for trouble. You are a Pentecostal person. Let's say what's it called? Maybe um Dominion City or Winners or whatever. That's where you're worshiping, and you like and you are admiring a sister that attends her life, that wears long flowing gown, and in your head you are planning. Don't worry, once we marry, I'll tell her and she'll start wearing trousers. See, you are looking for trouble. You are looking for serious trouble. That's why you need to discuss these things. But I go and look for a sister in your church that wear trousers. I don't know if you get my point. You see somebody or you see a sister that is putting on trousers, and in your mind, by the time I marry her, so this trouser, she'll burn all of them and she'll start putting on long flowing gown. You're looking for trouble. Discuss these things. These are things you know. If it will work out for both of you, you don't impose yourself on people. That's why you need to check how healthy these relationships are. Very important. Very important. You see the brother now. The brother is wearing coats. And you're like, by the time I marry him, you start wearing jean from you, jean and polo. So discuss these things. How do you want your partner to appear? How? These are physical compatibility you need to discuss about. And another thing with respect to the physical compatibility, what do you guys perceive as appropriate touch and inappropriate touch in relationships? I'm not saying in marriage now. In relationships, is it a pat on the back? Is it a hug? Is it a peck? What do you define as appropriate touch? Well, you know it's not appropriate for you. Talk about it. Okay, uncle and auntie, and please, when we are together, please don't touch like this, don't touch like this, don't discuss about this thing, so that they don't go up, they don't go beyond their limits, they don't cross the line, and you are offended and you are carrying. Please talk about these things. Please, it is very, very important. You talk about this, and so you know how healthy your relationship is. So you know who you are marrying. You know who you are doing forever with. It's very important. Well, that's all we have for you today. Hope it was interesting. Hope it was educative. If you have any comments, drop it on the comment section. You have any questions, please do drop it on the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification button. And if you have anything, any topic you want me to make a video on, feel free, do that. I'm here for you. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Do have a nice day, and God bless you.